Your answers are spot on. One of the things that I said in the previous podcast is that the investment of software isn't limited to just buying the subscription. Software without the involvement of your people is, I'm not going to say worthless, but doesn't deliver as much value as it would if people are religious about it. And yet, that's a very difficult uh, value in a culture to install amongst your people. How do you turn that into a culture documentation?
Again, a great question. And you're spot on as well. You can have the best tools in your toolbox, but if you don't use them, then they're pointless having them. It's just a badge. I think that any business needs to have heavy involvement from the key owners or the key drivers. I'm heavily involved in all aspects of the business. I don't think any job in my business is too small or big for me. Even like solving paper dispensers in toilets, right? I get involved in ensuring that we've looked at every possible way and we picked the best one. And culture starts from the top and goes down. So this attention to detail and this way of thinking of every aspect of the business then translates downwards. This is very important. You can't delegate attention to detail. You have to show how it's done, and then your team will follow. You can't just say it and expect it to happen. And that's the same with software and systems. It's very challenging and painful to implement a new system or software solution into the company, because that means extra work for everyone involved. That means replacing what the team are comfortable with and have been used to for many years and telling them, nope, we're going to scrap that. It doesn't work anymore. First, you have to sell it internally. And if you don't sell it internally, it will never be used. So first, as a business owner, you have to understand why a new system is going to be of value added. Your first customers are your team. You have to be able to sell it to them. And then you have to be on top of the implementation and get through the first 6 months, I would say, to a year of onboarding, which are the painful years, until then the software or the system becomes a standard operating procedure and then starts becoming of added value to the team. So it starts off with, we're spending more time than we should on this or than we used to on this particular task. And that will remain for 6 to 12 months. And the team might be frustrated and saying, why do we have to do this? But then the magic happens after that, and the efficiencies happened afterwards, and the scalability happened afterwards. And I tell my team, don't just solve for one restaurant, because a lot of the team members may work in one restaurant, not more. I say, what this current system now, solve for 5 or 10 restaurants. Would it work? After some thought, they look and say, no, it won't, right? So this is very important now to implement.